Hi there, hello everyone, welcome back to another walkthrough of Dragon Age Inquisition, the second attempt with the Dragon Age Keep imported choices, which means once I've finally figured out the games on the PS3, my recorded videos of Origins 2 will finally happen with the choices I make towards Inquisition. I have to be careful too because in one of my earlier Dragon Age 2 games, because I play it numerous times with different Grey Wardens to have different outcome stories. And the one I made where Bethany became I don't remember. I think it was a Warden Mage or a Circle Mage because she usually dies. But the one where I had a Warden Mage, for one I had put in a Warden Mage for Bethany, and the other one was a Circle Mage. And I believe it's the one for the Circle Mage where, for some reason, somehow, someway, I got Fenris to live. And I can't have that because he usually dies. So, when I play DR2 normally, I'll have to see how it is I got him to survive, and once I figure out how, I cannot do that because I need him to die. It's obviously horrible because, so many people like and romanced him. But I just don't really see the hype. I really don't see it. I get he's an option choice, but for me, I don't see it. I really don't see it at all. But anyway, obviously, Origins and 2, once I figure out how to play them, will be linked below. Also linked below would be my first walkthrough of Inquisition without the Dragon Age Keep imported choices. And, yes, the Veil Guard will also be linked below. And I hope a reboot version of the Veil Guard. Total reboot, different story, with Dragon Age Keep imported choices and everything. Hopefully it happens in the near future. Hopefully. Okay, there's all Dragon Age games up. Other games created by BioWare will also be linked below, such as the Mass Effect Trilogy, Mass Effect Andromeda, and the next Mass Effect game, but the game is in hot waters because of how badly the Velgar was. But if, the next Mass Effect game happens and becomes a success, hopefully that motivates BioWare to restart the Veilguard and do it again. I hope. And also linked below will be other types of fantasy games, and obviously mythological like games will be linked below. Not gonna go to the specific details of the fantasy world, mythological like world games, but similar games like them also be linked below. Picking up where we left off, we have done Here Lies the Abyss, where you fight the Grey Wardens, and obviously Hawk gets left behind. Because obviously that was one of the biggest predictions everyone had for 10 years, that everyone believed that in Veilguard we finally got to figure out what happens to Hawk. And look what happens. Nothing. It doesn't indicate for Varric that he spent 10 years trying to figure it out what happened to Hawk or anything like that. Nothing. So, what's the whole point of the Veilguard? And the same with the hero Ferelden. What the hell is she doing in the Veilguard? Ferelden being overtaken by Darkspawn? Where the hell is she? And you're like, what is going on here? So, it's story-wise, narrative direction, they ruined the Veilguard, obviously. So I hope they restarted better narrative, better choices, and so forth. But nonetheless, again, we've done Here Lies the Abyss. What I'm thinking I'm doing here, before we move on to Wicked Eyes and Wicked Hearts, we do all of the interactions with everyone we can talk to, and then obviously doing personal side quests for everybody, and then go into places like Crestwood and the Western Approach. Yeah, for the bridge where you have to get past the deadly gas, but not fight the dragons. Not fighting the dragons. And then, like I said, doing the side stuff for the members, and also making a trip back to the Hinterlands, and then moving on to the mission where you have to save Empress Celine. Anyway, let's continue on.
Inquisitor. I have been thinking. You remember everything now, yes? The explosion at Haven, the Fade, escaping the breach. In your report, you said Justinia was with you. But only you emerged in the end. Why? Why were you the only survivor?
She knew it was either her or me. And she wanted me to live.
Of course. Of course she did. That's just like her. Her message to me. I failed you too. I'm not sure I understand what that means. Did she say anything else? Anything at all? Please, if you remember.
I'm sorry, Liliana. That was it.
There are no answers in the Fade. Only illusions. A warped mirror. Justinia has never failed me. I was her left hand. Now she's dead. I failed her. What we learned at Adamant concerns me. The hero Ferelden and I have been together for years. I nearly lost her to the Archdemon. She's looking for a way to stop the calling from taking her, as it does every Grey Warden. But if Corypheus has power over the Wardens, my love could be in danger.
If you two are still together, why isn't she here?
Her quest took her far to the west, to lands that have never known the Blight. But Justinia needed me here. I owed her that much. My love and I are never truly apart. When this is all over, I will join her again. And this time, nothing will come between us.
What makes her think she can stop the calling?
It has been done before. Grand Enchanter Fiona was once a warden, but something took all trace of the calling from her. A warden mage named Avernus also found a way to prolong his life with magic. It wasn't much, but enough to start the hunt. She will find a way. I have faith in her.
Were the two of you happy together in the years after the Blight?
Happier than you could imagine. The only shadow over our love was knowing that one day I would lose her to the calling. Her quest is for me as much as for her. She knows how much I have lost.
What would you like to do?
I do not know where the hero Ferelden is precisely, but I know how to get a message to her. She may have information that helps the Inquisition. At worst, it will do no harm. I will draw up a plan in the war room. Thank you.
Anything I should know?
It seems that the Orlesian army is awaiting our next move. Some of the generals are sympathetic to our cause, others are still suspicious. Our actions are under a great deal of scrutiny.
I'll leave you to your work.
I'm told you gave the Grey Wardens another chance, Inquisitor. Would I have done the same, I wonder? Forgiveness can be difficult. I hope the Order values what you've done, and gives you no reason to regret it.
I'll leave you to it.
You have remarkably little here on early to Vinter history. All these gifts to the Inquisition, and the best they can do is the Malefica Imperio. Trite propaganda. But if you want 20 volumes on whether Divine Galatea took a shit on Sunday, this is evidently the place to find it.
If I knew what you were looking for, I could help you.
Because you're a mage? Considering education standards in the South, that's hardly a recommendation. I apologize. That was unworthy. Did I see something by Genitivi here? I could have sworn.
What is this about, Dorian?
When everyone returned, they told us about your tumble into the Abyssal Rift. You went into the Fade. Physically went in. Are you... all right?
I learned a surprising amount. What happened at the Temple of Sacred Ashes, for one.
Regained your memories. That's good then.
I think so.
You do realize this feat hasn't been performed in over 1,000 years. Corypheus and his contemporaries entered the Fade and began the Blights. In comparison.
You're right. I was fortunate.
Indeed. Although there is cause for concern. If you can walk in the Fade, others will try to follow. Who knows what secrets Corypheus has revealed? Not all of them will be as lucky as you. What they could unleash. My advice? Keep this quiet. Let them speculate. Too many will see this as a challenge.
That's a good idea.
There are enough idiots in the world who think if they just use enough blood magic, their problems will vanish. It's exactly the sort of thing I want to stop back home. This I don't need. What I do need is a copy of the Liberalum. I'll wager I can find Corypheus's real name. If I can prove he was a grasping ankle-biter with no family to speak of, the luster would come right off. Wish me luck.
You walked physically through the Fade. Please tell me what you remember.
In all the times I've been to the Fade, I've never seen it react so strongly to my presence.
No one else has physically entered the Fade since the Magisters assaulted the Golden City. Oh, I'm positively envious right now.
Now this is a hall worthy of the Inquisition.
I cannot believe the Grey Wardens could even conceive of such a plan. To seek out these old gods deliberately, in some bizarre attempt to preempt the Blight.
And calling the army of demons. That's my favorite part.
The demons are nothing. They're a tool.
A tool that would have let Corypheus ride roughshod over most of Orlais.
Even if they hadn't, the entire idea is wrong. The Blight is not something one smugly outsmarts. Forgive me. The entire idea is unnerving. My friend.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Did I ever tell you about the time Hawk was on a Merchant Guild hit list? Hawk's uncle got into an investment scheme with a couple of merchant caste businessmen. They took a lot of people's coin in order to arrange the import of wandering hills from the Anderfells. A delicacy, I'm told. Their weird, foreign foodstuffs arrived alive, and one of them, true to its name, wandered off in the middle of the night. Shit. The guild traced the shipments to Hawk's uncle, but as usual, he was so far in debt he couldn't see daylight. So, they went after Hawk instead. They sent guys from the local carter to Hawk's estate one night. 5 big dusters, armed to the teeth. They kicked in the door and Hawk was just standing there, fully armed, with me and the guard captain on either side. Nobody even said a word. The poor sods just looked at Hawk, looked at the captain, and dropped their weapons. They never came back. Hawk just had that effect on people. I always wanted to tell that one. Thanks. I guess I've got some letters to write. Isabella should know. Excuse me.
Writing does not come, as I'm certain you can imagine.
Let me guess, you're composing a love poem.
I couldn't, not even if my life depended on it.
It's not that hard.
Yes, it is. Poetry takes finesse, it takes grace.
You don't think you have those things?
Historians will one day ask what happened at Adamant Fortress, in the Fade. I wasn't there, but others were. Their accounts must be recorded.
That's an excellent idea, Cassandra.
I certainly thought so, until I started writing. I still don't know what to say about the spirit of the divine. The Chantry teaches us that the souls of the dead pass through the Fade, so it could have been her. Yet even so...
Do you really think it might have been her? A ghost?
A ghost. A remnant of her hopes and memories. Her lingering will to do good. Those things are all possible. Nobody knows for certain what happens after we die. A spirit could have assumed her form, but why? It helped you, as Justinia herself would have.
Perhaps it doesn't matter what she really was, then.
It matters to me, to what I must write. I wish I'd seen her, seen it. I feel so inadequate trying to interpret.
I don't know the truth any more than you do.
Sadly, unanswered questions make for poor reading. When they told me you were physically in the Fade, I was terrified for you. The last time such a thing happened, we created Darkspawn. We created Corypheus. The world needs to know the truth this time. No more legends lost to the ages.
Grey Warden, what have you done?
Again. Again. Come on! This is why the Qun doesn't like women fighting. I should have asked Cullen. Good one.
Perhaps you can take over.
Qunari training exercise to master your fear. I heard about the nightmare at Adamant. Sounded big.
Can you explain why I'm supposed to hit you with this stick?
Probably, if I try. It'd involve a lot of Qunari words, though. Just hit me with the stick, all right? I need to get over this demon crap.
All right.
There we go. Oh, yeah. Damn demon. Who's stuck in the fade, huh?
You fought in that siege. Every demon at Adamant wanted to tear you in half.
I bet, you demon assholes! And who killed you? That's right, Iron fucking Bull! I needed that. Thanks, boss.
Anytime.
You're doing good work, boss. I like how this Inquisition is coming. Next time you're free, why don't you come grab a drink? I'll introduce you to the Chargers.
Can you tell me more about Saharon?
It was a damn ugly place. Only getting uglier when I left. Between the Fog Warriors, the Talva Shoth, my people, and the Vince. You were lucky to go a day without blood. What do you want to know?
What are things like for the natives of Saharon?
I remember one guy. He made these things, fish wrapped in thin bread. Nice guy. Talk to him every morning. So, one time I'm asking about his bad back, and I see he's nervous, trying to tell me something with his eyes. Next thing I know, his assistants draw knives and come at my team. The rebels had forced him to poison my food.
And then?
I'd seen how nervous he was, so I hadn't eaten anything. A couple of my guys weren't so lucky. We killed the rebels. I lost 2 men to the poison, another to knife wounds. My friend who made the fish wraps died with a knife in his throat. Close quarters fight. He was caught in the middle. That is what things are like for the natives of Saharan.
Tell me about the Talva Shoth.
When Qunari can't handle the fighting in Saharan or lose faith in the Qun, they go rogue. They flee into the wilderness and turn into bandits, attacking everyone. They're vicious, savage. You look at them and you can see why my people needed the Qun to stay civilized.
Isn't that what you did, though?
Hey, when I burned out, I didn't go rogue. I reported in and went where the Ben Hasrath sent me. I'm doing my job, serving the Qun out here. I'm not some bandit. I am nothing like them.
What were the Fog Warriors like?
They were the worst of the rebels. They trained for stealth attacks. They made this fog. I never saw any mages, so I figured it was alchemy, not magic. They were almost invisible in it. I'd be on patrol in the market square. The fog would roll in, and before I knew it, half my squad dead without a sound.
It almost sounds like you admire them.
They didn't use poison. They didn't hurt civilians, and they were damn good fighters. You have to respect that. Plus, they hit the Vince as hard as they hit us. Hearing some terrified Magister scream, "My slaves! Where are my slaves?" in the fog always put a smile on my face.
Tell me about the Tevinter people you fought.
The Vince sent forces to Saharan every autumn. Guess they didn't like the summer heat. We had some good fights on the beaches, standing in knee-high water foaming red with blood, ships on fire around us. The cities were worse. Free bit of advice. Don't let the Inquisition forces get suckered into urban combat.
Why do you hate Tevinter forces so much? What makes them so bad?
It's not their armies. It's their spies. They bloodied Saharan year-round, killing loyalists, supporting rebels. Alam had no city administrator. Nobody would accept the position. The last 4 who held it died inside a year. Trying to conquer a country is one thing. Making it so nobody can live there, that just screws everyone.
See you later, Bull.
Nice talking with you, boss. I can't understand how those women in the kitchen could be awake so early after the night we had.
You said we should go get some drinks and meet your company.
Yeah, come on. It'll be fun. Ah, good. We're not drinking alone. How you doing, creme de la creme?
Your worship, I'm so glad he has someone new to hit with that joke.
Do you prefer Creme or Cremisius?
Crem's faster. The chief's nicknames usually end up sticking.
Hey, when I was growing up, my name was just this series of numbers. We all give each other nicknames under the Qun.
They ever wear shirts under the Qun, chief? Or do they just run around binding their breasts like that?
It's a harness, creme.
Yes, for your pillowy man bosoms. Let me know if you need help binding. You could really chisel something out of that overstuffed look.
You don't have to pass for a man to be a mercenary.
I'm not passing as anything.
In Kunadar, creme would be an Akunathlak. That's what we call someone born one gender but living like another.
And Kunari don't treat those Akun people any differently than a real man.
They are real men, just like you are.
Maybe your people aren't so bad after all.
Don't get your hopes up, Creme. We still come down hard on the back talk. Anyway, here's the rest of the chargers, or what's left of the rest. A lot of them went looking for stronger drinks. We've got Rocky and Skinner there, and over there are Stitches, Dalish, and Grim. Crazy bunch of assholes, but they're mine.
Why aren't you with your clan?
Our keeper thought I should see the world a little.
Dalish don't have Templars, so they can't have too many mages in a clan at once.
Now, sir, you know I'm not a mage. That'd make me an apostate.
You carry a staff, Dalish.
It's a bow.
A bow with a giant glowing crystal at the tip.
Yes, it's for aiming. Old elven trick you wouldn't understand.
Were you born on the surface, or are you from Orzammar?
Orzammar. I got exiled. Stupid noble crap. Also, I accidentally blew up a bit of the shape rate.
Rocky's one of our best sappers. He can take down enemy fortifications faster than a golem.
I'm also working on my own version of Kunari black powder. I've almost got it.
Yeah, you really don't.
So, how'd you join the Chargers?
Killed some people.
Skinner didn't take kindly to nobles testing their new swords on the elves in her alienage.
Bull took me in. Now I get paid to kill shams.
This is actually really good behavior for her. She's not marking her territory or anything.
I take it you're the company healer.
Yes, first time I ever picked up a sword was when the Blight hit Ferelden. Never put it back down.
He makes a potion that'll put you right back on your feet after even the toughest fight. It tastes terrible, though.
That's because it's a poultice, sir. You're not supposed to drink it.
Grim, is it?
Grim doesn't talk much. I'm pretty sure he's the lost king of some small country, or chieftain. Something like that.
You've got a good company, Bull.
Ah, we do all right.
Man can beat the Chargers, cause what hits you where it hurts. Unless you know what's happened with loose cards and looser skirts. For every bloody battlefield we'll gladly raise a cup. No matter what tomorrow holds, our horns be pointing up.
Thanks for coming by, boss. Glad you could meet some of my team.
Very well.
You heard what they did out there at Adamant?
I did. Did you hear the news? Yes.
Heard what went on in that Fade thing? What you think went on? Can't even start to believe that business.
It's hard to describe. Guess you had to be there.
No friggin' thanks. Some people are still there. Hawk, yeah? Lost a champion. And in trade, a busted down bunch of wardens. And they're always weird. Usually, bad stuff happens first, so you're glad when the hero shows up. But wardens are the wrong way round. They're the good thing that means a bad thing is about to happen. Like in Denerim, when the Blight ended.
A lot happened in Denerim. What did you see?
People talked a lot about this one warden. There was a big fight and they died, or, I don't know, maybe they didn't.
The hero of Ferelden. You forget the hero of Ferelden.
That was ages ago. 10 years. I was playing with small painted boxes and burying stuff I stole. I remember more people cringing about magic than Blight. Wardens were an excuse for your stuff to go missing. Blackwall's nice, though. Different from the Adamant ones. Need more like him. You have a problem. That, over there, is a full tavern. But everyone's drinking alone. They're all up their own arses about the Inquisition. I can't have fun with everybody whinging, and they'll fall on their swords before Coryphanus can push them. I'm thinking pranks. Set a few up, knock a few down. You win or not?
I don't understand how annoying my people will help.
Look, you have experts for everything. And I know a bunch of tight-ass people when I see them. Oh, sure, they'll complain. But they'll really mean, thank you for distracting me from the end of the stupid world. Come on!
Lead the way.
What, really?
Really?
I knew you were different. Let's go. Right. What, the desk? Oh, yes. Center of the Empire and all that. What to do, what to do.
All right, Sarah. What do you want to do?
Thing looks heavy. Don't want to move or break it. I got it. Easy one. Just a slip of something under here. There, won't notice much, but it's just that little bit wonky. He's so in control that'll piss him royally. I tell one of the soldiers and boom! The general seems like people. And since he works for you, you seem like people. Come on, next one! Right, little lady prissy pants. Have a look for something she likes too much. What, just the door? Where she greets every important idiot. Yes!
Well, Sarah, what do you have in mind?
Get a bucket. Classic, yeah? 5 minutes of sloppy boss gets you weeks of happy kitchen staff. Except for the one who cleans it up, I suppose. But whatever. Next stop. What's that? A locked... No, leave that. Not interested in her hidden things. Not for just a bit of fun. Maybe feed her messengers something gassy? No, bears don't pop. But they flap and...
Who is up there?
Go! That was fun. An inquisitor of the people, still remembering you're one of them. If all they got was the herald stuff, the serious bit, you'd start to sound pretty scary. That works, but not for long.
Whatever it takes. I'd start throwing pies if it kept people inspired.
Pies is so good! And Coryphanus would never do that. Good thing for you, innit? Because from the bottom, everyone up top sort of seems the same. Anyway, fun time, Inquisitor. You! Oh, frig. You did it!
No. But you like demons. I enjoy the company of spirits, yes, which is part of why I do not abuse them with bindings.
It isn't abuse if I ask.
Not always true. Also, I do not practice blood magic, which renders this entire conversation academic.
He won't bind me. He's a mage and he likes demons, but he won't help.
Why would you want Solus to bind you?
So I'm safe. If Solus won't do the ritual to bind me, someone else could. Will. Like the Warden mages. And then... I'm not me anymore. Walls around what I want. Blocking, bleeding, making me a monster.
Isn't it extreme for Solus to bind you? What if that takes away the part of you that makes you, you?
Helping makes me who I am. I help the hurting. That is what I do. All I do. Am. Me.
And if binding you erases your mind? Your consciousness?
You wouldn't make me hurt innocent people. I don't want to hurt innocent people again.
We'll find a way to keep you safe without binding you, Cole.
I have a suggestion, if Cole is ready to listen. I recall stories of amulets used by Raveni seers to protect spirits they summoned from rival mages. A spirit, wearing an amulet of the Unbound, was immune to blood magic and binding. It should protect Cole as well. The resources of the Inquisition could be used to find such a talisman.
Good. They will not take me.
Dreaming about laws. Stay out of my things. It's not your business.
Inquisitor, if you're looking for the commander, he's gone to speak with Seeker Pentagast.
Right. Great.
You asked for my opinion, and I've given it. Why would you expect it to change?
I expect you to keep your word. It's relentless. I can't...
You give yourself too little credit.
If I'm unable to fulfill what vows I kept, then nothing good has come of this. Would you rather save face than admit... We will speak of this later.
And people say I'm stubborn. This is ridiculous. Cullen told you that he's no longer taking lyrium.
It seemed very important to him.
It's not a decision to be made lightly. But now, Cullen has asked that I recommend a replacement for him. I refused. It's not necessary. Besides, it would destroy him. He's come so far.
Why didn't he come to me?
We had an agreement long before you joined us. As a Seeker, I could evaluate the dangers.
Is there anything we can do to change his mind?
If anyone could, it's you. Mages have made their suffering known, but Templars never have. They are bound to the Order, mind and soul, with someone always holding their lyrium leash. Cullen has a chance to break that leash, to prove to himself, and anyone who would follow suit, that it's possible. He can do this. I knew that when we met in Kirkwall. Talk to him. Decide if now is the time.
Maker's breath. I didn't hear you enter. Forgive me.
So long as you weren't aiming at me, I'm sure the box had it coming.
I swear, I didn't know you were... Oh. I never meant for this to interfere.
Are you going to be all right?
Yes. I don't know. You asked what happened to Ferelden's Circle. It was taken over by abominations. The Templars, my friends, were slaughtered. I was tortured. They tried to break my mind, and I... How can you be the same person after that? Still, I wanted to serve. They sent me to Kirkwall. I trusted my Knight Commander, and for what? Her fear of mages ended in madness. Kirkwall's Circle fell. Innocent people died in the streets. Can't you see why I want nothing to do with that life?
Of course I can.
Don't. You should be questioning what I've done. I thought this would be better. That I would regain some control over my life, but these thoughts won't leave me. How many lives depend on our success? I swore myself to this cause. I will not give less to the Inquisition than I did to Chantry. I should be taking it. I should be taking it.
You give enough, Cullen. I'm not asking you for more. The Inquisition can be your chance to start over, if you want it to be.
I don't know if that's possible.
It is.
All right. I need a moment. Could we speak another time?
Someone I knew once described Adamant to me. Adamant is, and always will be, the Order, he said. A guardian on the edge of the abyss. The lone soul that stares into oblivion and doesn't waver. That's what Warden Commander Clarel tried to be. Well, they all tried to be. None of the Wardens we saw wavered. They gave their lives willingly. They died for us.
and Corypheus twisted their sacrifice to make it his own.
And that's why he has to die.
You'll get no argument from me. There's no one to blame but Corypheus. Even Clorel's intentions were righteous. Her desire to protect was so great it led her astray. It's not right. To want to do good, to be good, and have that turned against you.
You can't expect everything to go well all the time.
No. But we still have to try, don't we? Even Clorel. She had to try. It's not the armor or the trappings of the Order. It's not the... joining. At the heart of it, all a Warden is a promise. To protect others, even at the cost of your own life.
We've an interesting development, Inquisitor. A petition from citizens of Val Royeaux. They wish to know what Andraste said to you in the Fade.
They think she spoke to me.
Even Leliana can't trace the rumor's origin. It may be expedient to respond to those asking for Andraste's words.
It's not Andraste who saved me.
Few people outside Skyhold know it was Divine Justinia who delivered you from the Fade. You could attempt to tell Val Royeaux citizens the truth, though it may not be as inspiring as they hope.
Tell the petitioners Andraste said her herald's word is as her own.
That will certainly make the Chantry take notice, but we shall spread the word. It's good to see you.
How do you stay so civil with everyone, Josephine?
Bonds of circumstance among the nobility are fickle. Civility is the only constant everyone admires. And I do deplore rudeness in those who know better.
Does it even become a strain sometimes?
Well, it can be trying. There is no shortage of self-regard among the nobility. The game can be wearying, discouraging, and extremely baneful. But honestly, I'd miss meeting people. I've made the most fascinating friends.
One good thing about becoming Inquisitor has been meeting so many different people.
I'm pleased. I imagine we appear a strange bunch to those outside our circle. Mages, Templars, Seekers, and an apostate elf are not often found working in harmony. Or at all.
Let's speak later.
Farewell. Adamant's influence continues, your worship. I submit Lord Livius Erimond of Virantium, who remains loyal to Corypheus. We found him alive, offering extreme resistance, likely because the Order will ask for his head. In more colorful terms. To say nothing of justice you might personally require for what was suffered in the Fade.
Many places felt the pain of Adamant. You will answer for a great deal.
I recognize none of this proceeding. You have no authority to judge me.
On the contrary, many officials have communicated that they will defer to the Inquisitor on this matter.
Because they fear. Not just Corypheus, but Tevinter, rightful ruler of every piece of ground ye trod in your pathetic life. I serve the living God. Bring down your blades and free me from the physical. Glory awaits me.
You are the worst of us. The damage you have done is beyond all reckoning. A mage's crime, a mage's punishment. Lord Livius Eramond of Varantium, I deny you death. Tranquility.
You cannot! I'm a lord, you pissants! I will not lose myself!
Another of the lingering pains of adamant, your worship. Sir Ruth is a senior warden of the Order. She was one of the many who slit the throat of another to bind a demon. She does not contest this. In fact, she surrendered to us. She requests no mercy. She wants the public justice of the headman's axe.
You were free to rejoin your comrades, and yet you present yourself here.
There is no excuse for my actions. I murdered another of the Order. That blood marks me more than the Blight ever could.
Accepting their actions while thralls of Corypheus, many treaties allow wardens any extreme if it opposes the Blight.
I can't do it. I can't use the greater good to justify my crimes, as if it would create a future I could be a part of. It is wrong that this broke me. I've done worse with full sanction. I can do nothing except be an example of the cost.
We doubt when we're safe, when Blight is not at our throat. I can't judge a warden, Sir Ruth. No one has that right.
You have more faith in the Order than we ourselves have.
captain sent back sketches of the walls. Our experts say they look elven.
Interesting. Does Corypheus send scholars to find something the elves buried? Or something buried with them?
I heard of your verdict on Alexius, Inquisitor. It was all he deserved. I hope it serves as a warning for anyone, Magister or no, who thinks of trying that again.
I trust everything is well with the mages.
There have been a few scuffles with your Templars, but overall, it is going well.
I'll leave you to it.
What happened in Adamant is a shame. I'm still reeling over the army of demons. Imagine what would have happened if the Inquisitor hadn't arrived.
To work?
Inquisitor? Our soldiers handled themselves well in Adamant.
We've come a long way since Haven. I fear there's still a ways to go, but we're prepared.
Inquisitor.
Inquisitor, I've something for you. This might interest you, sir.
What is it?
See for yourself, sir.
One down!
Be the supply caches Whittle asked us to find.
Watchtower call out the warning last night. They saved us.
They did.
Perhaps I was wrong about the Inquisition.
for recruit Whittle.
Cullen's got some of those trebuchets from the siege back at Skyhold. Hey, Sika, think he'd mind if I borrow one? Just for an hour or two.
Why do you need a trebuchet?
Krem sews a bit. He made these stuffed nugs with wings. I want to see how far they can fly.
I don't think that's an appropriate use of Inquisition resources.
See, this is why you're not in charge of morale. More supplies. Whittle can use these. More supplies. Whittle can use these.
I think Blackwall would have liked to have been here for this.
Have you seen otherwise? Do you know
True enough. I don't know.
so certain?
Make just what happened. If I were back in the city, I could just steal some blankets.
I found some of the apostate's supply stores. I can mark the locations for you.
I'll get out there myself with a few men and pick them up. This will keep a lot more refugees alive next time it snows. I appreciate it.
Red Templars. What's so important that Corypheus sent them out here?
Nothing at all, Bull? No trouble having a vint behind you?
Hope you like the view.
You can't deny you enjoy butchering my people.
Hey, butchering implies I'm gonna eat them. Most vints are just gristle and fat in a red wine marinade.
Well, that much is true. Thank you. I appreciate you finding her, and I'll see to it that this never happens again.
One down!
Appreciate this, Inquisitor.
One of the Templar targets. It's over. Thank you for bringing us here.
Make her take you!
There, that's some good armor.
Are you referring to me?
Some high-ranking women wear ornamental crap with tits hammered into it. One good shot, and all that cleavage gets knocked right into the sternum. Real messy. Good on you for going practical.
I aim to please.
Leave something to the imagination, too.
Grandmother, you heard about Haven. It's destroyed, completely gone.
I do not suppose you found my Senna's
The
shrine.
mages and Templars are
I
no
know
longer
it is a long
fighting.
way to go.
It's safer to travel now. We should
I
leave.
cleaned Senna's shrine and placed the flowers. May her ashes be gathered by Foundine and carried safely.
After all the long years she carried me, thank you. You do a foolish old man too much kindness. Masseranus, Dalen, take this with my gratitude. Senna would have wanted you to have it.
Must be an old dwarven outpost.
What was it for?
Trade, maybe? Your guess is as good as mine.
Darkspawn.
We may be too close to the surface for these to count as deep roads. But have I mentioned I hate the deep roads?
They've been watching our movements. The Darkspawn are coming up through here.
Someone should do something about that.
is worth hiding here.
Nothing to report, sir.
Up she goes.
Like dragon territory. Oh, this is gonna be good. looks like dragon territory. Oh, this is gonna be good.
Someone had a run of bad luck. Someone had a run of bad luck.
Oh, would you look at that? That is magnificent!
everything lit up when he tried to fry us.
Now that is a fight.
That last burst of flame nearly roasted us.
Why is it always so cold? How do you Southerners stand it?
What's the matter? Not enough slaves around to rub your footsies?
My footsies are freezing, thank you.
The dwarves were clearly up to something.
That Corypheus, he's a hammer, smashing everything.
Heard you found something that had to do with wardens. Would have liked to have seen it.
Nothing right now. Perhaps in a bit.
Inquisitor.
Thank you.
Ah! Come on, Krim. I'm working my ass off trying to get you to see that move.
You still got plenty of arse left, Chief. Your worship.
Glad you came by. I got a letter from my contacts in the Ben Hasrath. Already verified it with Red.
What did the letter say?
The Ben Hasrath have been reading my reports. They don't like Corypheus or his Venatori. And they really don't like Red Lyrium. They're ready to work with us. With you, boss. The Qunari and the Inquisition, joining forces.
That could be a powerful alliance.
My people have never made a full-blown alliance with a foreign power before. This would be a big step. They found a massive Red Lyrium shipping operation out on the coast.
They wanted us to hit it together. Talked about bringing in one of their dreadnoughts. Always wanted to see one of those big warships in action.
Did you see that? Go get some water. They're worried about tipping the smugglers, so no army. My chargers, you, maybe some backup.
What does this alliance really get us?
They wouldn't use the word alliance if they didn't mean it. Naval power. More Ben Hasrath reports. Qunari soldiers pointed at the Venatori. It could do a lot of good.
You don't seem entirely happy about this.
No, I'm good. It's... I'm used to them being over there. It's been a while.
I thought the Qunari wanted to extend their reach to the whole world.
Yeah. Just didn't think I'd see it. Look, the Qun answers a lot of questions. It's a good life for a lot of people. But it's a big change, and a lot of folks here wouldn't do so well under that kind of life. I guess it's not like we're converting. This is just us joining forces against Corypheus. On that front, I think we're good.
I think the Inquisition could use some help from the Qunari.
Good. I'll pass on word to Cullen and Red. We can set up the meeting whenever you're ready. Inquisitor! Come, have a drink. To killing a high dragon like warriors of legend.
What exactly am I supposed to be drinking?
Maras lok.
What does that mean?
It means drink! I know, right? Put some chest on your chest. That little gurgle right before it spat fire. And that roar. What I wouldn't give to roar like that. The way the ground shook when it landed. The smell of the fires burning. Tarsidathan Halsam. You know, Qunari hold dragons sacred. Well, as much as we hold anything sacred. Here, your turn.
That thing you just said, you shouted it during the fight, too. What does it mean?
Oh, Tarsidathan Halsam. Closest translation would be, I will bring myself sexual pleasure later, while thinking about this with great respect.
You shouted that while it was breathing fire at us.
I know, right? Yes, the second cup's easier. Most of the nerves in your throat are dead after the first one. Atashi. The glorious ones. That's our word for them. Atashi.
Why do you think the Gunari think of dragons that way?
Well, you know how we have horns. We kind of look more dragony than most people. Maybe it's that. But a few of the Ben Hasrath have this crazy old theory. See, the Tamasrans control who we mate with. They breed us for jobs like you'd breed dogs or horses. What if they mixed in some dragon a long time ago? Maybe drinking the blood, maybe magic, I don't know. But something in that dragon we killed spoke to me.
When you put it like that, I'm worried I killed one of your gods or something.
Nah, one of Tevinter's gods, maybe. They worship dragons, right? Kill the shit out of them all you like. Dragons are the embodiment of raw power. But it's all uncontrolled. Savage. So, they need to be destroyed. Taming the wild. Order out of chaos. Have another drink. Nice. To dragons.
To finding the biggest, baddest things in the world and showing them that we're badder.
Anan.
I wanted to thank you. When you came to see me, if there's anything... This sounded much better in my head.
I trust you're feeling better?
Yes.
Is it always that bad?
The pain comes and goes. Sometimes I feel as if I'm back there. I should not have pushed myself so far that day.
I'm just glad you're all right.
I am. I've never told anyone what truly happened to me at Ferelden's Circle. I was... not myself after that. I was angry. For years, that anger blinded me. I'm not proud of the man that made me. Now I can put some distance between myself and everything that happened. It's a start.
The past isn't always pleasant. Sometimes you have to let go and move on.
I can't forget what happened, but it led me here. I can make that mean something. Anyway, I meant to thank you, not trouble you further. You've enough to worry about. How are you holding up?
Honestly, I'm terrified. So many people depend on us, on me. Corypheus is still out there.
We've made great strides. Do not doubt yourself, or the Inquisition just yet. If there's anything I can do, you have only to ask.
I appreciate the warning, but you shouldn't have come yourself. What if the guild found out, or what's his name?
Are you worrying for me or for yourself?
A little of column A, a little of column B. I am the expendable one, after all.
Oh, don't worry, I'll protect you. We'll just have to... Well, this is a surprise. You're the Inquisitor, right? Bianca Davry, at your service.
Your name is Bianca?
It's a common name. Half the girls in the Merchants Guild are named Bianca. The other half are named Helga. I lucked out.
I take it you're a friend of Varric's.
Who isn't a friend of Varric's? You have met him before, right?
Why do you both look like cats that got into the cream?
She's taken a huge risk coming here herself. Maybe for both of us.
You're such a worrier. There's a giant hole in the sky. I think the Merchants Guild has bigger things to think about.
Bianca's got a lead on where Corypheus got his red lyrium.
The site of Bartran's Folly, the tag Varric found, has been leaked. There's a Deep Roads entrance crawling with strange humans carting out red lyrium by the handful.
You can get there from Orlais. It's a long way to the Free Marches.
The deep roads are all connected. Or they used to be. Collapses and such. Some of them on purpose.
They really are roads. They spanned the Dwarven Empire, went to every corner of the continent, maybe further. In theory, you can get to any thaig using the deep roads, but in practice, there's a reason nobody uses them anymore.
Who could have given away the thaig's location?
There were a few people who knew. Hirelings from the expedition, a couple of close friends.
How they found out isn't important. What matters is we know where they are now.
If it's such a secret, how do you know about it, Bianca?
I told her. Right after the expedition, I wrote and told Bianca what we found. I had artifacts that needed buyers, and she had more contacts that would pay for them. Plus, I owed her.
How do we know they're not using multiple entrances to get to the thaig?
Navigating the deep roads isn't like the surface. There's no accurate maps of the whole system, and there are cave-ins, darkspawn, lava floods. If you find a route that gets where you're going, you don't deviate. Trying to find another way could be deadly.
We need to deal with this. As long as he has this source, Corypheus is that much more powerful.
I couldn't agree more.
I'll keep an eye on their operation. If you're interested in shutting it down, you've got my help. Try not to leave me waiting too long, Varric. I've got my own work to do, you know.
Right. That's not going to be trouble at all. Let me know when you want to head to the entrance.
Finally. I started to think you weren't coming.
Nobody said you had to hang out in the creepy cave while you waited.
Well, I did wait, so let's make this quick. These idiots are carrying the red lyrium out in unprotected containers. We don't want to stick around long enough for it to start talking to us.
You seem to know more about the effects of red lyrium than most.
Varric told me plenty about what it did to him. And his brother.
How did you find this operation in the first place? There must be hundreds of deep roads entrances.
I've used this entrance in the past. Varric's not the only surface dwarf to explore the deep roads. Oh, I've got to admit, I was pretty surprised when I came here and found it full of humans.
Why would the containers need to be protected?
Lyrium is incredibly dangerous in its raw form. It can poison or kill dwarves, and we're resistant to it. Sometimes it just explodes. No warning.
Basically, only crazy people mine lyrium.
The mining cast doesn't just sling it into a bucket. It's carried in special containers that keep it under control. And that's normal lyrium. The red stuff is worse. I wouldn't be surprised if most of their miners die just digging it up.
We'd better get to work.
Sounds good to me. What you do now?
Beg pardon?
Skulking around in caves, shooting guys. Is this your day-to-day?
I usually try to avoid the caves.
You had me worried, you know.
What did I do now?
That letter you sent me about the red lyrium was the first I'd heard from you since the Chantry explosion.
Had it been that long?
Seriously, if you died in that mess, I'd have come back to Kirkwall and dug you up just to kick your ass.
What would you do if I'd been cremated?
Kick your ashes, of course. I built these doors. They probably shut this one from the other side when they heard the ruckus we were making. Ta-da!
You've been here often enough to renovate the cave.
You already know I've used this entrance in the past. I don't know if Eric's told you, but the Merchants Guild is cutthroat. Literally. I built the doors to keep rivals from following me down here and arranging accidents.
Admit it, you've been waiting to do that since we arrived.
Of course I was. After you.
How is what's-his-name?
Bogdan? He's in Navarra right now, selling my machine to wealthy landowners.
I heard some of the guild were trying to get you named a paragon for that contraption.
That's not gonna happen, even if I am 10 times the Smith Bronca ever was. A surfacer paragon? Never. This is almost fun. Kinda like old times.
I don't recall us ever shooting people together.
Remember crashing Bartran's guild dinner? We might as well have shot him.
This isn't nearly as dangerous as pissing off my brother.
There you are. I won't be able to use this entrance again.
Bianca.
You were the one who leaked the Tide's location.
It's not like that. Not entirely. Shit. When I got the location, I went and had a look for myself. And I found the red lyrium, and I studied it.
You know what it does to people.
I was doing you a favor. You want to know how this stuff works just as much as I do. I just wanted to figure it out.
Did you figure it out?
Actually, yes. I found out that red lyrium... It has the blight, Varric. Do you know what that means?
What? The two deadly things combined to form something super awful?
Lyrium is alive, or something like it. Blight doesn't infect minerals, only animals. I couldn't get any further on my own, so I looked for a Grey Warden mage. Blight and magical expertise in one, right? And I found this guy, Larius. He seemed really interested in helping my research. So I gave him a key.
Larius? He was the Grey Warden we met in Corypheus's... Oh, shit. I knew something seemed off.
I didn't realize until you said you found red lyrium at Haven. I came here and, well, then I went to you.
That name means something to you, Varric?
He was at the Grey Warden prison where we found Corypheus, and he definitely wasn't a mage before.
You had to know we'd figure out what happened, Bianca. Why did you insist on coming with us?
Varric told me what people were doing with the red lyrium. I had to help make this right.
You couldn't have known what would happen.
Mafarath's balls, she couldn't. I told her exactly how bad this shit was. I told her to keep away from it.
I know I screwed up, but we did fix it. It's as right as I can make it.
This isn't one of your machines. You can't just replace a part and make everything right.
No, but I can try, can't I? Or am I supposed to wallow in my mistakes forever, kicking myself, telling stories of what I should have done?
Ha! As if I would tell stories about my own mistakes.
What's done is done. There's no point arguing about it.
We've done all we can here. Bianca, you'd better get home before someone misses you.
Varric.
Don't worry about it.
Get him killed, and I'll feed you your own eyeballs, Inquisitor.
I'm glad to have answers, but... shit. The second she showed up here, I knew. I let this mess happen. I gave her the Tig. I am not good at dealing with shit like this.
I don't think anyone is equipped any better than you are.
No, the point is... I don't deal with things. If Cassandra hadn't dragged me here, I'd be in Kirkwall right now pretending none of this was happening.
You realize that nothing has actually been stopping you from doing that.
I suppose you're right. Thank you for your help back there.
After all this, do you think you'll see Bianca again?
I always do.
I told them the offer was the best we could do.
Of course they said no.
They weren't joking. They think we won't do anything about it.
Shame they're wrong.
She did what to the Duc de Freyen? He's demanding an explanation. And a new stateroom. Give him a room on the other wing. I will speak to him. And Sarah.
Well, we did a lot in the hinterlands than I thought we would, but... you know, might as well just get rid of all the stuff we could do in the hinterlands, so that way, you know, we can just move forward to going off to the rest of these places and... you know, never having to come back to the hinterlands ever again. Although, I never actually figured out that, the way you do that was to bring those, I'm assuming the runes to these places. So I'm assuming now that means that for this one you technically have to find a rune, and you supposedly place it there, and then you fight a spirit, and then that's it. I've always said I wanted to look up these, but I never got the chance to, mainly because, you know, I didn't have any interest in doing them. But now I know what you technically do, so it'll be good to know. So but anyway, we'll stop here, and when we get back to this, we'll definitely make our way to Crestwood, make one whole video on there, make our way back to the Western Approach, also do that, and if there's like maybe some more places to travel around to, not to mention doing some of these stuffs too, we'll definitely do them just before we move on to to doing Wicked Eyes and Wicked Hearts. So again, stopping here, continuing this another time, and as always, leave a like and comments.